What's up, everyone? This is your host, Stefany Sweet,
And your co-host, Nia Audri.
and you are now tuned into the GrownupIsh Podcast. Welcome, guys,
Hey.
to another week of the GrownupIsh Podcast. I hope you all had an amazing week, productive week. And if you're not being productive, at least you're having fun, hopefully, right?
That part. It's still like productive in its own way, kind of.
Yeah,
So I'm here for that.
Yes, you can be productive in your own way. How was your week so far?
It has been good. I was just really sleepy, but it's been good. I don't have any complaints per se. I had the funniest story. So today, my cousin, she works from home, so she's like, the guy, so our landlord or whatever, she was like, a guy's gonna come and check our windows for like leaks and damages and stuff. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So the other day, the guy had called, but I didn't answer the number because I didn't recognize it. So then I got another unknown number like calling me, and I answered it, and then it was his boss, like the owner of the company or whatever. So he's like, oh yeah, my guy called, but you didn't answer. Most people don't because of the number. And I was like, oh yeah, I saw that. He's okay, well, his name's Antonio. He's gonna probably give you a call back. You can save his number, we'll do whatever. Okay, fine, cool. So then he calls me and I'm like, hey, he calls me yesterday.
Hey,
I'm
Antonio now calling you.
No, he's not calling me, but I have a funny story. So I'm like, oh
no,
like, hey.
No.
Yeah, Antonio calls me.
You're right.
So Antonio calls me yesterday, but I'm at work. So I'm like, hey, I'm at work right now. But he's like, oh, okay, like I was like, is this Antonio? He's like, yeah. He's like, oh, okay, I already know which windows it is. Like I can already see which windows it is that's messed up. It's the upstairs ones. I was like, yeah, it is. He's like, okay, cool. Like, is somebody gonna be there? I'm like, yeah, my cousin will do. He's okay, I'm gonna come through. I don't need to come in, whatever. Okay, cool, boom, bye. I forget about it. Like I text my cousin, like, okay, guy's gonna come. Forget about it. So today, my cousin texts me while I'm at work, and she was like, hey, the window guy had to come and he had to go in your room.
Oh?
He had to go in your room to check
what did he find, Nia?
So I'm like, she was like, yeah, girl, the guy you talked to had to come in and look at the drywalls. Why he call you a ritual bae? Laughing my ass off. And I was like, ritual bae? And I'm like, she was like, he looked good.
He saw the incense, okay?
It wasn't even that. It wasn't even that.
The beads.
So I was like, wait, what? So like I'm at work, so I'm not thinking. So I'm like, ritual bae. I'm like, wait, what? So she was like, I was like, OMG, I'm so embarrassed. I was like, and my room was a mess because I haven't gotten there yet to like clean up and like tidy up every morning. Like I'll throw the clothes in the closet and be out. Like,
bye.
I ain't there yet. I'm trying to become that person that make my bed every morning, but I'm just not there yet. So I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed because I'm just like, oh, he probably saw like my little altar because I have like my crystals and my little candles set up and stuff. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Right.
But I'm like, ritual bae. So I was like, she said she moved some stuff around and I'm thank you. And then she was like, but it was because of your butt picture hanging on the wall.
But
so, summer, I did that TikTok painting that went viral when people were painting their butt cheeks and their thigh and then sitting on the canvas. So in my room, there's a big ass picture of my big ass. I was like, I'm at work cracking up.
God.
Like, I'm at work like, oh my gosh. Like this man walked in, so my cousin, like he walked in and he like, whoa. And she like, he was like, I thought you saw like a bug or something. So I jumped too. And then she's like, I realized he's looking at your ass on his wall. Big ass. Like my canvas of my ass is so big. I need to get a bigger TV just to balance it out because it's over my TV and it made my TV look so small now.
Like, well, damn, how big is this damn canvas, sis?
It's big as hell. I have a big ass picture of my ass on my wall. I'll send you a picture later. Well, there's a big ass picture. If the listeners want to hear, if y'all listen to this, I will post the big ass.
You should post it. You should post it on
the big ass picture of my ass. Yeah. So I was like, oh my gosh. So mind you, okay, there's my altar stuff in the corner in my room. There's a big ass picture of my ass. And then my vision board is on my wall. I said, so at this point we're dating.
She be out here
You just saw my
concocting
whole.
stuff.
Then I have 3 other pictures. So I have 2 smaller pictures of like a painted lady and like she don't have like no top on and she got like waist beads and stuff like nipple piercings and long braids.
Hey,
So I have like these
hey.
3 sexy ass goddess pictures too of this lady in different poses painted, like these paintings of this lady in different poses. I'm just like, he thinks he just walked into a sex chamber. Like, that is why I'm the ritual guy, ritual babe. But I was like, but nobody's in there, so now I'm ritual babe. And she was
That's
like,
good.
yeah, he said he's gonna have to call you because he got to come back. I was like,
Oh, he gonna come, he's probably like, I need to see her. I need to meet her. Okay, what kind of craziness she got going on? I need to meet her.
he sounded cool. He sounded real cool on the phone when we was talking. I'm
That's
like, okay,
funny.
yeah, I'm at work. I'm like, I gotta go.
I
You
gotta go.
gonna come
Bye.
through? Okay, cool. Bye.
Meanwhile, he's like, wait, I need to call you back, sis. Let's see what
That,
what this
happened
booty
today,
looking like in real life.
girl. That happened
I
today.
thought you were gonna say something crazy, like he saw some craziness, or like, oh God forbid, like I don't care if it's clean drawers, like
You just
I
want
don't
people seeing
want
the draws. You just don't clean, dirty.
yeah
You don't want them to
dirty,
see.
like don't be looking at my underwear. Nobody needs to see my underwear. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
Yes, that's why I'm like,
Clean
oh my
or dirty.
gosh. I was like, my room was a mess. Like it wasn't horrible, but it wasn't clean. Like you want somebody to come over. So I'm like, so
Yeah,
now I'm gonna take that as a sign. Like I do need to start getting up in the morning, making my
because
damn
you
bed,
never know.
ready in my
Mom,
room.
listen, my mom
Getting up.
would always say, like, what if something happened to you and we need to come into your space and be finding your space all types of nasty. Like she would always say that, like, be it like just putting stuff away or like cleanliness. Like, no, don't be
Yeah.
leaving dishes in the sink. Don't be leaving stuff all over the
What if
floor.
somebody
Like
get home
somebody's
late?
gonna come into your house and just find your house a hot mess and just be judging you and don't even know you. So I always like think about that,
Girl,
like,
I feel so exposed. I feel so exposed. I was like, oh
because
my God,
that's your private space. It's not even just like the other rest of the house. It's your bedroom.
my bedroom. I was like,
It's your bedroom.
nobody is supposed to see my ass picture. Like,
Oh, we're gonna see it too.
I mean, I had
Yay!
put it on social media a while ago, but
You put it on your social. You didn't put it on the GrownupIsh podcast. So let
I
go.
did. I put it on a story a year ago.
A
A year
story.
ago.
See, it's
A
that.
year
It wasn't
ago.
even.
People don't know it
It was on
exists.
a story.
So yeah, that
Yeah,
happened
everybody don't
today.
forgot about it.
The highlight of my week. So yeah, how was your week going?
My week has been as per the norm. I feel like I say this all the time. I've been all over the place, but I think that that's my new norm. One thing that I saw that I was like really, really like inspiring to me. It was like not this past weekend, but the weekend before, and I thought about it, it made me smile again. But after we did hot yoga, we went and got food, and then at the restaurant, like this man proposed to his girl like during brunch.
Aww.
It was so cute, and he's like they're an older couple. They had to have been like in their early 40s or something like that. So they're like older or whatever. But I thought it was so cute. So he proposes in front of everybody in the middle of brunch, and like everybody of course is hyping it up and like making her feel uber like, yes girl, right? They buying her drinks, buying them drinks, he's popping champagne. It was like super super adorable. And it's like, that energy, I teared up a little bit. I ain't even gonna lie to
Oh,
you.
listen, girl, I boohoo cried. My best friend, so she got engaged
Oh
on
yeah,
Saturday.
that's right.
Yeah, she got engaged on Saturday. Congratulations, Carissa. She got engaged
Congrats,
on
Carissa.
Saturday. Girl, I boohoo watching the video
Yeah.
after the
Yeah.
fact. Like I knew it happened. I
Yeah.
knew how it was going to happen. Like I had already
Yeah.
pictured it. Still watched the video and was like, I'm just so happy.
Happy, right. I mean, I didn't cry, but I definitely got
Right.
teary eyed.
I love
And
love.
you start thinking about, like new love and that butterfly stage. Things is just like beautiful and just like new and fresh and untainted. I loved it. I was just like, oh my gosh, this is so cute. Oh my gosh, so adorable.
I love love.
Yeah.
I cry
So
at weddings too. So there's that.
yeah. I feel like, romance is beautiful. People committing to their new beginning, like committing to each other for life.
It's a
And
beautiful thing.
yeah, 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 yeah,
It's a
yeah.
beautiful thing.
So with that said, like that leads into the topic of this week's conversation is just, attracting all types of different people, but attracting like the bad energy, the bad attractions from individuals, and having like that fatal attraction in a relationship, right? Where maybe I don't want to even call it like, I mean, yeah, it could be called toxic,
It could.
but it could
Unhealthy.
be
I like to
called
use
toxic.
yeah, toxic. I like to take it back old school. Before we call everything toxic, we call everything unhealthy. Like that's just really unhealthy.
Unhealthy
Right.
relationships,
It's
right?
not good for you. It's not healthy.
It's not healthy. And I'm not gonna lie, like I had a few unhealthy relationships. Um, not a few. I don't want to say like there was so many, but
Had
as I
some.
was, huh?
We had some.
Yeah, I had some. And when we talk about energy all the time, and obviously we talk about like dating and stuff, and it's just like, okay, when you're dating and you're going through like getting to know somebody in the beginning, or like I remember when I was in my younger days, not that I'm too old, but in my younger days, I would, attract the wrong kind of person, and I would end up like getting frustrated about why I was in these relationships that were like not toxic, but just like didn't go anywhere, useless. And it's
Yeah.
just, yeah. Um, I went through a few just like that. And it's just like, okay, I had to find for myself why that was happening. Like what is the cause of these like attractions. So I
What is
wanted to ask you,
it?
what do you think is the cause of these attractions when people are like dating and they keep like running into the wrong type of person?
I always say, I like you said, it's attraction. I believe in the law of attraction. What you put out is what you get back. So I feel like when we are putting out a certain energy, like, okay, for example, if I am going strictly off of just like looks, I'm just looking for looks, there's a certain type that I'm looking for. I'm not going off of anything like deeper than that. Like
Substantial.
nothing of substance, nothing of value. I'm just going off the looks. Which in my younger days, that's what I liked. I like how he looked. If he looked good,
Right.
that's
Because we
what
just thinking
that's
like,
what I
oh,
want.
attraction.
Yeah, attraction.
Oh,
So now
he's
I'm
fly. He got
attracting these,
money. He
yeah,
looks
I'm
good.
attracting these
He
guys
drives a
that
nice
look
car.
good. Yes, got a nice car, look good. Usually, honestly, I attracted like fuck boys, but
Meanwhile, he ain't
fuck
shit,
boys usually
right?
look good. Yeah, so it's like, but at that time, you're not looking for anything of substance. Like I wasn't looking for anything of substance, and I can be transparent and be like, I was on some fuck girl shit. Like I wasn't trying to be anything of substance either. Like at that
Yeah.
time, I wasn't trying to be something serious. Because if I was, I would have moved differently. I think sometimes what happens is that we as women may say, oh, I want a serious relationship or I want a really nice guy, but we're not moving along that vibration. Like we still doing shit that doesn't line up with what would attract or bring in that type of guy. So that would be like, that's where I think like most of the times we have those problems. I also think that it depends on like where are you going to meet these type of people. And when we're younger, we don't have very many options. You go to school, you go to a couple little events and things like
House
that where, yeah,
parties,
where you can go.
the
um
mall.
Exactly. But I mean, shit, we wasn't going to the library and just chilling and being like, who's around? Oh, he's cute.
Who's
Like that.
around?
That
Let me
wasn't
go.
it, you
What
know?
book are you reading?
Right. What book are you reading? I'm gonna go to Starbucks and sit outside or Barnes and Nobles. That used
There
to be
was
a
no
Barnes and Nobles
Starbucks
was
back
the spot.
then.
Barnes and Nobles though, that was the spot. You can go to Barnes and Noble and begin your little study on, see who's up in there. But most guys weren't there. So, but
No.
now I say like you know, it's about what energy you're putting out there is part of it. And then like how you're also carrying yourself in a way. It's because like when you shift your mind to be like, okay, this is what I want to attract and this is what I want to bring in. And I can say this, like when I go out, for the most part, even though right now I'm not looking for a relationship, I definitely carry an energy of like, don't waste my fucking time. Like that is literally the energy that is just or rotating around me. Like, don't fuck with me. This is not to be fucked with. Just
I'm
leave
not
it
here to
alone.
play games with you.
He's not here to play games with you. So I know that energy is so strong because I've had dudes like get ready to say something to me or like, oh damn, you bad dip, and they look and they're like, nah. It's that energy. Like,
Yeah.
don't do it. Don't even approach me. Don't waste my time. But if I'm giving that like a different type of vibe where it's like, I'm down, let's kick it, let's see what happens, and then it brings in like, okay.
And that all depends on who's approaching or whatever. But so I would like to think that I was putting out good energy because I've never thought myself to be somebody who just puts out like fuck girl energy, even, or on some like, like some, careless, very cavalier. I've never really been that one, right? But I would just time after time find people that just were not on the same wavelength that I was on, and it just did not work. But I would still try to make it work, and I think that's where I went wrong.
That would be the key, is because even though you weren't putting out that energy necessarily, they picked up that you would tolerate it.
Yeah. Instead of me like, all right, dismiss and shut it down, like move on. Not that I would put up with shit, but it's just like, oh, like, well, they're still nice. Let me see. Let me try. Let me explore. And then I would just shoot myself on the foot, right? It's just like you're trying to make a circle fit into a cube. It's just not going to work. Like, it's just not going to work. So I think that that's where like I went wrong. It's just like being very accommodating, to somebody who's not even like worth my time, or I should not give the energy to, just because we want two different types of things. But I think that also went along with the fact that I was still trying to find my worth in a way.
Yeah, so I was gonna say that was literally like my breaking point. It was like I was still attracting that type of guy. So I moved down here, and did I meet him on a dating site? No, I met him out. I met this guy out in the club. He was fine, real fine. And again, this was going off of looks. Like he approached me, we start talking, and at the time when I first moved down here, that's when I kind of shifted my mind. Like, no, I'm not going to just be, messing around with whoever. Like, I actually want something of substance.
Yeah.
So we had been talking and we were vibing. We kicked it once, and nothing really happened between us. But I knew he wanted something to happen between us. But I also knew he didn't want a relationship. So I basically had to have like a real, like, either you're going to tolerate it and try to make it into something that is probably not going to be, and set yourself up to be like basically in your own feelings, because you can tell that he don't want that, or you're gonna move differently and let it go and just move differently moving forward. So I made the tough decision, which it is hard, because when you really want a relationship, and I think that has a part to do with it too, like your self-worth, knowing your value, and not putting wanting to be in a relationship over what you actually deserve,
right?
And what you really do want. Because I feel like sometimes women, and I don't know, men might do it too. Honestly, I don't know if they're as open about it, but men might do it too. You're dealing with a woman or a man who really ain't treating you how you should be, or give you what you want, but because you want to have somebody, you're tolerating it.
Right.
So I was at that crossroad, and I was like, I basically ended up telling him like, yeah, I really do like you a lot. I want more. I know that you don't want more. So I think it's best if we part our ways. And
at least you told him, like,
Yeah,
know,
I didn't ghost him or nothing
pump the
like that. I
brakes.
just let him know, like, yeah, I think it's best if we go our separate ways, and we did, like, we were still on Instagram, like friends for a minute. And then I think I ended up deleting Instagram for a while. So I lost contact with him along the way. But like that for me was like refreshing and reassuring. Like, okay, you're truly moving different and you're truly putting
Yeah.
out a different energy now. And then hopefully you attract something different. And
Yeah.
then since then, I don't really look when I am out and about, like it's not so much um physically based anymore. When I am putting out that energy or trying to attract somebody, is not so much energy based. I mean, physically based, like off their looks or anything like that anymore, because I
It's
don't
fun.
necessarily have a type either.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. A lot of people always like, do you have a type? And yeah, I know I joke like, oh yeah, I like my Haitian men and stuff like that. I do, but I don't really have a type. Like there's not
I agree.
like he I
I
don't
would
have like
like
this
to.
image of the
Yeah.
man I'm supposed to be with.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But wait, do you
It's
have like
personal.
certain things? Do you have certain things that you
There's
like certain?
qualities.
Yeah.
Yes, there's certain
Yeah.
things that I like. I like a
Yeah.
man that can dress like that. I
Yeah.
can like the man that could put himself together nicely. He got to smell good. The usual things,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have those things, but like an image, like he has to be this, he has to be that, is not necessarily a thing. I'm
Yeah.
pretty like open when it comes to that. So I think that also plays a part in what we attract to, is like if you have this cookie cutter like image of what the guy that you're supposed to be with, if we're talking about long-term relationships, I feel like if you're like putting him in his box, I feel like then at that point, every time you
It's
see
so
somebody that
limiting. Yes.
almost
That's all you
looks
go
like that, you
to.
like, gotta get him, gotta
That's all you
put
go
him
to.
in. And
Yeah.
then you realize like, oh, he's a fuck boy. Why does this keep happening?
Right.
Because
Because
girl,
you
you
keep
looking at
going
the
for the same
wrong.
types. Yeah. And
Exactly.
also for me, I would date. There was a point in time when I was just dating. If I'm being honest, I was just dating just to date. Like I just didn't want to be by myself, or I wanted some
Mhm.
entertainment. I wanted somebody on my radar of some sort. Like not necessarily that I needed to be in a relationship, but I did want to be able to be like, oh, I'm dating somebody, right?
Yeah.
So the fact that it was just that I wasn't really being so picky and choosy and putting too much thought into the idea. It was just more about, oh, I think he's cute. I like this about this person, and then I would maybe entertain them.
Yep.
Um, and so I think that the reason why we attract the wrong kind of person or guy or female lady girl whatever, the wrong type of partner period, is because we are not in a position where we know what we want. We don't know for ourselves what it is that we are looking for to be able to really focus on those things to anchor
Mhm.
us, right? So like if you were just like dating just to date, or you're going off of just looks, there's nothing of substance there. There's nothing concrete, there's no morals tied to it. There's no substance, point blank, period.
Yeah.
And once though, I remember the last relationship when that turned for me, when I realized like, why am I wasting time and just like spending time with these people and wasting energy, and in some cases betting these guys, and it's just not anybody that I really feel like I have a strong connection with, or I
Yeah.
really fuck with like that. And once I changed that mindset, like I remember the exact last guy that I was dating when that happened. And so, story time real quick. I dated this one guy. I don't think I ever told anybody, but he was like low key a stalker. Not low key, pretty much like a high key. He would call me at work. He would call me. He would like want to know like where I was. He would call me when I was with my friends, or text me when I was with my friends, like wanting to know what was going on. And he was just,
A stalker.
he was intense. He was like, he was extra.
Overbearing.
Overbearing, extra. And to me, that was just like, yo, if you're like this, like now, imagine if when I feel like, okay, when things are, because he was moving very fast, like very, very fast. And I wouldn't
There
consider
was a
us like,
moment I was attracting guys like that for a moment too. It was like, why do I
why are
keep
we
getting
doing?
these type of guys? But continue, because I
Yeah.
had a moment like that.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
it
I
felt
was,
like I would meet dudes that were like too into me, like not
yeah, like
like
this
over
a
the
lot,
top. Like I need to know everything. I need to be in
a
your
lot.
left pocket.
Trying to stay on the phone with you for hours, you know what I'm saying? Always texting you throughout the day. It's like I can't breathe. Okay? It's a lot. Who are you going with? Who are you with? You know, all of that. Asking me umpteen questions. And I don't like that. Like we're not doing that. I mean, I don't sit there and
Mhm.
babysit. Like that's one thing about me. Like I never try to like impose myself on somebody or try to like find out till this day, like what are you doing, who you with, where you at, where you're going, whatever. Like that's not me at all. So someone expending so much energy on me like that, like for 2 seconds I was like, oh, he cares, he's a little jello, he a little like, and then it became like evident to me that okay, you're doing a lot, you're doing the most, and I'm just not with it. So I dated that guy, and then I dated like somebody entirely like a different spectrum, completely different, who was just very nonchalant, very, very like basically friends with benefits type thing, right? So it wasn't even like dating. It was just like,
Mhm.
that's what this is. And I had to come to the realization like this is gonna continue until like I make a choice of decide to want more. Like I'm worth more. Why can't I like he one guy was super overbearing, doing the most and asking me way too much, just um a lot. And then the
Mhm.
other guy was just very like
I don't give
nonchalant.
a damn what you doing because you ain't
Yeah,
mine.
where you at? What you doing? You want to come over? And it was just that
That's
type
it.
of like Netflix and chill type thing, you know. And so I had to like, nah, I'm worth more than that. Like I'm better than this. And it's just like all with the realization of like I want to be able to strive for more and get more, that changed. So ladies and gents out there, if you're thinking like, why do I keep getting into the same relationship? Maybe you need to start looking for something different.
Mhm.
But people like be liking what they like and they don't even realize it. They think like, oh no, I'm open minded.
It starts with us. Like it's not that we're just attracting these people, like you said. It starts with us. And I was gonna say, usually, I want to say that there's things that we need to work on ourselves, which it sounds like that's what we both did. Like we both had that. Why the hell am I doing this? Like, why am I putting up with it? Because they're gonna keep
Right.
coming. They're gonna keep coming as long as we allow them to keep coming. But when you stop and really evaluate, like, okay, first off, like you said, knowing what you want, then taking that deep reflection on, like, why am I putting up with this? Is there something that I feel like I'm not worthy of? Is there something that I feel like am I trying to fix somebody? Am I trying to change somebody?
Right.
Am I trying to make them something more? Like, I feel like it can get really deep, especially for people that end up in like those like really
Abusive
unhealthy.
relationships, or
Yes,
like,
like
yo,
when
I had a
that's when you
friend.
gotta really dig into that.
Yeah, I had a friend who like she really had a stalker. My guy was not even a stalker. He was just like a little extra and overbearing. But the
Yeah,
dude that she was dating would like show up places and like, I mean, to the point where he showed up at her house, was like trying to look through her window, and it was just whoa.
too much, too much. It's
Yes, yes.
concerning, because that could get scary.
Fatal attraction type shit. So it's like, wow, like, you really need to be careful about who you associate yourself with. So
Mhm.
there's some people, right, that like now when they date, they'll do like background checks and stuff, like especially online, and they'll go
Oh,
and
girl, where
like,
I'm from, everybody get background check. Back home, we
really?
have everybody. Oh yeah, everybody know that. It's a
Have you
Wisconsin
done that?
thing. When I was back home, yes,
You give
everybody
background
gets
checks on
CCAP.
people?
It's called CCAP. Yes, yes.
I've
Yes.
never done that ever.
Everybody gets CCAP in Wisconsin, Milwaukee, especially. They like, oh, what's his name? You know his birthday?
Really? Oh
No.
gosh. Okay,
CCAP
what's
for
the
all that.
craziest? What's the
So
craziest thing you've found?
I haven't found anything crazy for the people that I deal with.
So CCAP is like the website or some
Yeah,
shit?
that's the website for Wisconsin. So it's different with every state. Every state
What does
has
that
their own.
show?
It'll show if they've been arrested, if they have a criminal
Okay.
history,
Okay, like a criminal
background.
background.
Yeah, if they have a
Or
criminal
if you're like
background.
a child molester, I'd be thinking about that.
Yeah, it'll show up if
Oh
they have a case
Jesus.
or something like that against them. So it'll show up. I think I have researched. I haven't recently, haven't in a long time. I might have looked up. I think I did look up my ex. I did look up my ex, and
Did
he had
anything
some
come up?
little. He had some little minor stuff we talked about, and I was just. He was young. He was so young.
Yikes.
But other than that, yeah, I used to. I don't really anymore, but I also don't really date. So there's that.
Oh, I have another story. So it's not me, but my friend, like, she was dating, she started talking to this guy, and we were like, we were out here. We were having a good time, you know what I'm saying? Just having, mingling with the locals, like I like to say, you know what I'm saying? Meeting new people all the time. So she met this dude one time when we were out downtown, and he, for whatever reason, was like, he told her his name, and then later on he told her a different name. Like, I don't know how the conversation came up, but he told her a different name. So she was suspicious off of that. I
Yeah.
remember her being suspicious off of that. So they talked, and like they talked or whatever a couple of times, and then she decided she was going to go check him one night. And so she's there at his place or whatever. He gets a little
First off,
handsy.
I'm not going to nobody's place if he done told me two different names. We're done
So
right there.
she asked him about it, and she's like, no, he's like, no, 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 this is my name. Like, I don't know what you're talking, like, played it off, right? Played it
Mm-hmm.
off.
It's a
So
no.
she was like, okay, I was drinking the other night, maybe I thought it was something, I heard wrong, whatever. Needless to say, she went to the dude's house. They're just hanging out or whatever. So she just went there for like a quick, like, oh, let me just stop by on my way to Steph's house or something. I don't know. So she goes there. He gets a little handsy, but he gets like handsy, like not trying to let her go. Like, so, okay. So he gets handsy and trying to like caress her or whatever. And she's like, look, I just came to say what's up, to just chill with you for a second. I told you, I got the other plans. I'm about to leave. So I'm going to go. Okay. Trying to let her go out the house, out the apartment. So now she's like, what do you mean? Like, you need to let me. He's literally blocking the door. So she tries to like play it cool and like not get upset, and kind of just like disarm and get more upset or whatever. So she's like, you play too much, da, da, da. And she's like like playing along or whatever. At one point, he apparently corners her or something, like against the wall, and so she's like, again, not trying to freak out, but she's like, oh my gosh, in her head, I need to get the fuck out of here. And so I think it was like a matter of like, she was close to the door, and then she was just like, grabbed the door and was like, I'm gonna leave, bye, and just like left, right? Freaking out, calls me, and she's like, oh my God, I was stuck in this man's house, blah, blah, blah. So she comes over and she's telling me the story. And I'm like, yo, we need you to get like combat training or something. Like, you need to be able to like protect yourself. You know what I'm saying? Elbow that man, grab your stuff, go. Okay, get the hell up out of there. So we were able to laugh about it like after, but in the moment she was really freaking out. When she got to my place, she was kind of like, yo, this thing is crazy, because he was like literally not trying to let me out the house. Listen to this. How about like 2 days later or so, this man is on the fucking news.
Because there was a red flag that she did not acknowledge. That's how. That's
The
how.
name thing, yeah. But then, like, when she was trying to leave, she was really trying to leave, and he wouldn't let her go. She stopped talking to him after this, but like 2 days later, he ends up on the news, and he's like, he had like abused his girlfriend or something, and he was being arrested, and it was a different name. It
But that's
was
what I'm
a
saying
different
though. Like
name.
sometimes we need to take red flags as fucking red flags and know. Like, granted, I'm sure y'all were younger back then, so we're young, we do
No,
dumb
it wasn't
stuff.
that we were that young.
Did she
My
just saw that red flag? Because that name thing would have been a no for me. Like, I
Sure,
know you
but
like,
if you think you say that now, but if
no,
somebody says like, "No, I didn't say that. I told you
no, I
X,
know
Y,
what the fuck you
Z,"
said. I'm not
and you
stupid.
were
Nope.
drinking, and you were drinking, and
I
you
ain't never
maybe
been that
thought
drunk.
you
I might forget
misheard.
your fucking name, but I ain't gonna confuse your goddamn name. You
All
said what
right,
you
Mia.
said.
Okay, you got it
For
all
real.
figured out.
Because
Sorry.
sometimes we know, like, if you're questioning it, that enough is for me to be like, nah, something fishy. Because if I meet a guy and he says his name is Mike, and I'm like, okay, cool. Especially if I'm feeling him. As women, if we actually checking for you, we gonna remember what you told us. Because now I gotta go back and tell my girls, okay, I done met Mike, he cute, okay, this and that.
Right.
Then I come back later on like, yeah, no, my name is Chris. Nigga, I done told everybody about
That's
Mike.
not what
You
you
said your
said.
name was Mike. That's not what you
No,
said.
but like I get what you're
I don't
saying.
know
If
what
it's
you're
a red
talking
flag
about.
that consistently is happening, then those are red flags, sure. But if it
Yeah.
happened one time and you were drinking and he's like telling you like, no, that's not what I said, and now you're second guessing yourself, okay? And you're second guessing yourself, and you're like, okay, well, hey, maybe I misunderstood, maybe I heard wrong, right? It is. It's not that it's
I'd be like, but I'm
unbelievable or
also very,
impossible.
very
It could
fucking
very
skeptical.
happen.
I'm also very skeptical. And I'm also that type of person that thinks about worst case fucking scenario too. So I always look at that, sadly to say it, meeting people, I be looking at the negative, like, nope, he a fucking serial killer, or he's a serial rapist, and this nigga said his name was Mike. Now he's saying his name is Chris. I'm good on you because that's confusing and it's weird. So I think I'm gonna just keep my distance and we can be pen pals for right now. Like we would have just
No,
been texting buddies because that throws me off. That again, that for me, that's energy. Like you had me vibing with this thing and now you throwing me off like I'm tripping. Like I drank, but I know I ain't drank that damn much to just be fucking up people's names like that. Now I'll be honest and be like, I don't know your name. Like I didn't even get your shit. Just been talking to you. I don't even know your name. I'll do that, but I don't know. But in general, I feel like another reason why women end up, not saying clearly, hopefully she ain't tracking no multiple abuser type guys, but one
no,
reason
no, no.
why
She never talked to no abusive guy. It was just that
women
one time,
end up
like,
in those
by the skin of her teeth.
cycles.
I was like, sis, you could have ended up somewhere. Lord Jesus.
Yes.
That's
One reason
crazy.
that we also end up in these repeated unhealthy relationships is because when we do see those red flags or we do see those signs that this may be a bad idea, we just be like, whatever. It's that's not that serious. And maybe it was just that one thing. And then that one thing turns about to be something huge because in that case, it was just like a off name. Like the name was off and it kind of like was like side-eye it. But then it turned out like he was on some seriously abusive, aggressive type energy, like
He
some
was
very,
being very aggressive to
very
my
aggressive
friend. And I did not
energy.
appreciate that or like it one bit.
That's
And I was just like,
scary. I would
yo,
never want to be in that position. Like that is
that
very
right.
traumatizing. That is
And
very
what a
traumatizing.
right. And I'm just like, yo, the odds of the fact that 2 days, 3 days later, he ends up on the fucking news for abusing his
That
girlfriend.
was
He has
like
like
he was
a
dodging
kid,
a bullet.
and then like all the things that he told her were the complete opposite. Like
Yeah.
everything that he was saying was that night, like was a complete opposite of the truth and the fact. And then it just made me wonder, like, how many people out here really be creating alternative realities for themselves when they meet somebody, like.
Yeah. Tonight I'm gonna be this. Like we be joking, like ladies joke a lot, like,
Dead
oh no,
ass.
tonight I'm gonna be Vanessa when we go out.
Right,
Okay, I'm gonna
right,
be
right. My alter
Victoria.
ego or
We got
whatever.
our
But
little
these
fake
people,
names, but it be people out here real life having
real
whole
life,
other personalities and whole different identities that are just not themselves at all. They don't even plan to tell the truth. He never planned on telling her who he really was.
No,
Because in the event
no.
he did do some crazy off the wall ass shit, she gonna go back looking for a Jacob, and Jacob don't fucking exist.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I haven't had like an actual situation like that, but there's one person that stands out in my past that I was like, you were on some mixed shit. Like something was off. I never was able to like pinpoint it or whatever, but it was just the energy. The energy just would seem off, and I would always just wonder like something else is going on. Something else is going on. We were talking about long distance relationships last time or whatever, but he was like somebody that was like out of state. And that's why I say I could never do long distance relationships, because I need to be able to see you be here and like face to face,
Yeah.
like on a consistent basis, because that's how you can catch stuff. That's how you can really like see the patterns and be able to identify like, nah, man. I mean, even from far away, you can also do that, but it's just, it's a lot harder. And if you were with somebody who's like intelligent and like smart and they actually come, because guys, half these guys is dumb. They're gonna get caught regardless. They're idiots. But if you find somebody who's like really smart,
There's some tricky ones out there.
there are some tricky ones, and they be knowing how to finagle and get shit over, and it just eventually you're gonna get caught. Because I always say what's done in the dark is gonna come to light. I don't need to search for nothing.
I agree.
Eventually they're gonna get caught, but it's just, it takes a lot longer, and you have to go through a whole lot more shit to get to that part.
You're not with each other, so it's easy to kind of just be, oh, this is what's going on. That's what's going on.
Yeah. I'm in the office. Meanwhile, I'm in somebody else's bed. Like, and girls be into it. Like, be there.
No.
Looking at you. Yeah, be looking at you ready. Like, oh yeah, it's fine. That's crazy. But yeah, like that was wild to me. I was just like, oh my
That
God.
was scary.
Like, he ended up in the news is ridiculous.
I felt, and I guess again, the bottom line is, if you feel like you keep attracting the same type of person, you got to reflect within. I'm glad everything went well with your friend though, but reflect within.
Yes,
like pick up on those similarities. We can kind of tell like when you start seeing similarities of the people that you're talking to or you're dating, and then if we continue on entertaining it. And I would just say sometimes you got to take that time to be alone too. Like take a break. Like
right.
Reflect on yourself. Yeah, a lot of serial daters.
Loving yourself. Glow up, sis.
Take some
time. Let me ask you this. What if he's a little crazy? But he's fun, he's handsome, and he has money, but he's just a little crazy. Are you gonna
Almost everybody that I talk to is a little crazy. So that's the norm for me.
So those are one of the things that you like, sis. So you like a little crazy.
All of my men have a little crazy because I'm a little crazy. So
I'm glad you know.
I can't deal with a guy that don't got
straight and narrow
craziness about him. Yeah, like no. I need a guy
who's gonna keep you on your toes. Not too much, just a little.